4 weeks. This is our 4th week together. So in Module 4, we're going to talk about execution, effortlessly craft an effective social media calendar to quickly boost your sales. Today, we're going to discuss how a social media calendar can increase your sales and simplify your life. If you don't put it on your calendar, it's not going to happen. And for those who weren't here at the first session, my first time, full-time in the real estate industry was July the 31st, 2003. By December of 2003, I had closed, just in the month of December, $24,000 I had in gross income. In 2004, I was in the top 10% of realtors. I closed $12 million in real estate. I understand having a calendar and living by the calendar and not allowing interruptions to occur in our lives. My friends often talk about me, but I'm the person who might not come to the party if the party wasn't put on the calendar. And my rule is always, I am not the last minute go-to person, period. And they understand that. So if you calling me 24 hours in advance and you think I'm going to the party, you didn't want me to come to the party because you knew I'm not the last minute go-to person. So it's all about the calendar. And if it's not on the calendar, it doesn't get done. And I know that's for everybody in here. So we're going to talk about what that calendar looks like. Getting quick results, tips for taking action and getting social media momentum instantly. A few things that you can do today that can change how you're communicating with people and get you found. The 7 best IFTTT recipes to generate traffic quickly. We talked about if this, then that. I'm going to share with you some of my favorite recipes beyond things that you can do with video. And then 5 Evernote tricks to generate big results. I'll use if this, then that. I use Evernote. The course resources were on Evernote. So every week you saw that I was adding something to that one link. I could go take things down and I could update that one link. When you think about how you've interacted or received content from me, I want you to think about your clients and how would that benefit them. Just one single link with every piece of documentation, with every way that you've communicated with your clients in that one location. So some of the tools we've been interacting with so that you would know how they work before we got here today and I told you how to put them all together, okay? Once again, this series has been sponsored by BMO. Paul Lopez and I have done business together, I guess 10 years now. He said, Marky, I think that realtors in underserved communities aren't receiving the social media education in order to grow their business. What would it look like if we provided them with the education? The whole purpose for the 4-part series is so that you'll be able to grow your sales, but more importantly, that there isn't a lack of communication because you aren't with, at properties or all the high-tech tech companies who provide maybe their licensees with all of the different tools available in the marketplace. I had a short stint at Rubloff before it was Prudential Rubloff, and when I tell you we were the most pampered brokers, Tracy, we were the most pampered. Now this is before Prudential. We were the most pampered brokers in the city of Chicago. Anything and everything you thought you wanted done for you, they were willing to do it. That doesn't really happen anymore today. But I will tell you, they handheld us and provided resources and services unlike any other company. So BMO said, hey, I want to be able to provide this type of education. If you haven't had a chance, you can go to realestateagentbmoharris.com to download the mobile app. Also note that you service a low to mod census income tract. I wasn't going to tell you guys this because I've been holding it close to my chest, but the city of Chicago is supposed to come out with a new MMRP for next year where they will be providing up to $90,000 in grants for people moving to the Bronzeville community. So I'm letting you know I'm waiting to buy my next piece of property because I'm buying it in Bronzeville and I'm going to use a $90,000 forgivable grant in order to buy that piece of property. And I get to buy it as an investor, and it can be on commercial real estate. And so there's so many wonderful programs. Yeah, I wasn't going to tell y'all about that. I was holding that one. I was keeping that close to my chest. But you want to look at these low to mod, because low to mod don't mean cheap. It don't mean cheap. My block is in a low to mod, and Hassani still just closed the house at $439,000. That's a good payday, okay? So low to moderate doesn't mean cheap. Keep that in mind. So we do have our maps here. I've already loaded these to the system so that you will understand where all the different down payment assistance programs come from. Now, Google just walked in, and I'm going to not just turn it over to him quite yet, but I'm going to have Google come up, because the whole premise of Google is for you to get found in these areas where when people go and they're doing a Google search, you and your business comes up. So I'll bring him back in a little bit because he just got here, okay? And he's going to give you a small business questionnaire. I've already put that into the system because Google does consultation, they do photos. That will be available for all of my small to medium, even large businesses that are here today who want to have a stronger Google presence. And I do hope you know we live in what? A Google world today. I think back to my AOL email address days, and there was no Gmail that existed at that time. And so when we start thinking about social media and ensuring that it gets done, you have to put it on your calendar. What I have behind me is a copy of my calendar. I utilize Gmail for all of my scheduling because it allows me to have multiple calendars that overlay one another. I can hide some or not, okay? And so when you take a look at my calendar, the very first thing you'll see are birthdays, right? You see my daily wake-up time. I'm doing really good. I'm waking up now at 5:30 without an alarm clock. Had you caught me before Skylar went away to college, I wasn't waking up at 5:30 on no day, okay? You subject to catch one if you thought I was getting up at 5:30. But now that I have to get a little boy on the bus, right? Last year at 6:45, they moved my youngest son's start time to 7:30. That means at 6:30, we on that bus. I got to be up at 5:30 a.m. That's when my day gets started. And you see, I got me a nice little 30-minute break because I got to give somebody some undivided motherly attention. At 6:30 a.m., when he getting on the bus, I'm starting my social media. I'm reviewing what has been said in the last 24 hours, and it sets the tone for what I need to do that day. I'm also pre-scheduling any post to go out. And the University of Chicago made a suggestion to me. I used to have my time broken down into 160-minute session. What they said was they didn't believe that people would sit for just 60 minutes and knock out all of their social media. What they said is, Marky, come up with a 30-minute segment and 2 15-minute segments. Put them in the calendar every day, but based on what your day is looking like, you can move a 15-minute segment to the afternoon. You can move a 15-minute segment to the evening. But there's a placeholder on my calendar for those times every single day. And that's what you see here, okay? So you see social media right here. It says daily social media scheduling. And then I do a little social media reading every single day because I like to read often what I am posting. The exception to that is when I'm sharing the RSS feed, that stands for Real Simple Syndication, of organizations that I'm a member of. So I might share House Logic or the National Association of Realtors content and not read it first because they set the rules that I have to adhere to. But if you're not a rule setter, I'm not automatically sharing your content with my sphere. But I want to know what's going on in the marketplace so that I could share it. One thing you might want to start thinking about sharing is information on safety, because safety is a huge concern. And I had the opportunity to teach the safety class last week down in Marion. And we often think that it's urban areas that are at highest risk. It's actually suburban and rural areas. And they had some stories to tell last week in class about some things that are happening, and I was blown away. So safety is an issue for everybody. On Sundays, I have what is known as Social Media Strategy Sunday. That's when I take a 2-hour block of time and I focus just on my strategy for the upcoming week. I'm looking over everything, and sometimes it might include other marketing resources. I still send out mailers twice a year, at least twice a year. I have in my purse a stack of blank thank you notes. I still write handwritten thank you cards. So I'm getting that whole week schedule together. If I know that I'm having an open house the following Saturday, I want to make sure that I have tweets and Facebook posts set up to go out every single day. I'm going to do that with my social media strategy. Anybody got a big event coming up? What's your big event, Tracy?
Golf outing this Thursday.
Golf outing this Thursday with the Dearborn Realtors Board. One thing is that they're utilizing, is it Constant Contact?
Yes.
For their emails. All of Constant Contact emails come with its own dedicated URL. They could take that URL and now also pre-schedule tweets, Facebook posts, Google+, LinkedIn updates to go out Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and on Thursday they could have, you got 15 minutes left to get here, and they could also have a 6 p.m., hey, we worn out, because you're going to be worn out. You've been worn out every single year, right? We want to thank you for your participation. Look forward to seeing you next year. That would all be scheduled, or for me would have been scheduled yesterday. Put it on your calendar. Yes, Paul?
How about the 6 a.m. text that you sent me?
So the 6 a.m., so he just wants to let you know I really do get up and start work early. Javon probably gets some of my 5:30, 6 o'clock, but it was on my list of things to do. So I hit them early, right, as opposed to late at night with my messages. I get up and get it done. So thank you. Yeah, I'm not sleeping anymore. Yes, ma'am.
So, Marky, I'm always concerned with oversaturating people with information and sending too much. How do you gauge that?
It depends on the, great question. It depends on the social networking site. Twitter, there's no such thing as overkill. On all of your other social media channels, you're probably going to look at no more than 2 to 3 posts per day. 2 is a really good gauge, and it's hitting people after they get to work and sit down, and then hitting them after that mid-noon break when they become distracted from what they're supposed to be doing, because they all come to work with their mobile devices. From an email standpoint, everyone knew from this class that they would get 2 emails a week from me. That on Sunday they was going to get a reminder, hey, class is tomorrow. And then on Tuesday, so tomorrow morning, 10 o'clock, they're going to get another email with me thanking them and any additional resources I come up with. So I'd already set the tone. With some of the directors of education I work with, I wanted to send them a weekly email. And I talked to my mentor. He said, Marky, I think that's going to be too much for them. He's like, I don't see them engaging with the email every single week, and they're going to become annoyed and unsubscribe. I said, okay, what do you recommend? He said, I do once a month. And I've only had one person unsubscribe. And this has been going on for about a year now. So I would say that that's working really well. So the email is all about value, not salesy, once a month. And then Twitter, you could do 10, 20 posts a day. It don't matter. Okay, and everything else, I would keep it at about 2 posts per day. Yeah, and make sure it's strong content. You weren't here last week, but what I will get you is our video post. I was in here this morning doing a Periscope where you take one video and turn it into 10 different forms of content, but everything leads back to the video. So I'll give you the video formula. Yeah, and that worked for you guys, didn't it? Did the video formula work for you? Okay, good. So we have it on our calendar. What I want you to do, and it won't happen today, I want you to look at your calendar and allocate 60 minutes a day to marketing. I've been using social media since 2007, and I just started to invest in ads. because I think I've maximized free. But I looked at it a little differently. When I went back to the year that I think I had the most direct sales, one, I only focused on one thing, okay? The next thing is I invested maybe 5%, not 10, but 5% of my annual income back into marketing. Because social media can get you so much exposure, I wasn't spending any money on marketing. And I'm like, well, how am I gonna get to this big, hairy, audacious goal and not spend any money? Which is why I've now been investing back into the marketing, and I can tell you, I am seeing my sales increase. So start low, but allocate some money to your budget in order to grow your business. Because the way the algorithms are set up on all the different social media sites, especially Facebook, they're going to limit the exposure to any of your posts if you don't pay them to market your post.
So you gotta pay Facebook too?
Oh, Facebook wants to get paid. You don't have to pay Facebook. You're just going to minimize who's going to see your post. So if you want your post to be seen, you're going to have to put some money behind it. Yeah. It's just another form of marketing. And everybody is hanging out there. And the beautiful thing is we don't know who read our direct mail piece. I can tell you exactly who's looking at those Facebook ads. Okay, I'm doing an event with the Women's Council of Realtors. I totally eliminated men from the ads. Not that men don't participate with the Women's Council of Realtors. I just know from every event that I go to, it's less than what, 5% of men. So that's not who I'm going to target that ad to. I did all women in that ad, and they're a little older. So normally I'll start ads at 21 because that's how old you have to be licensed. I started these ads at the age of 35. Based on what I'm seeing face to face. So you want to have that calendar. If you're not utilizing a Google Calendar, it's a wonderful option in scheduling everything. This is what my Google Calendar looks like. As you will see, I know. I still got the Century 21 affiliated in here. We had when we did our grand opening, I had a whole planning calendar just for that event that overlaid my other calendar. I got the holidays in the United States. I have a standalone separate training calendar. So I don't want people to know when I'm always traveling or if I have to go to the doctor or something of that nature. So I don't want to share my personal calendar. I copy all of my training events onto my training calendar and share my training calendar link. That's all you see is training events on that calendar. You don't know if it's date, night, none of that on that link. When you start thinking about, for those in real estate, what I want you to think about is every last one of your clients needs their own calendar, starting with the end in mind. If I know that we're going to close a real estate deal, you want to be out of this property by January 1st, right? If that is the goal, I need to close you by when? December what?
December 1st.
I give them a little bit more leeway. When in the month of December, taking everything into consideration. Before Christmas. Okay, the 15th. So I know that I need to close you by December the 15th. We got some new changes going on, right? With Res Patilla. We don't know what the outcome is going to be at this point. When do we need to have this property under contract? To close by December the 15th. We got to be under contract.
September.
Let's go October 15th. October 15th. How long is the average market time for a Frank Montrose listing? There we go, because I know some real numbers on that one. 40 some days, right? So that means that I need to have, if we're going under contract by October the 15th, that means that I have to have that property on the market September the 1st. But September 1st won't be the ideal date to put the property on the market because we got what? We got Labor Day. So what day I'm bringing the property to the market? That Tuesday, September the 8th. I got all those dates right now in that client's calendar. We're going to bring your property to the market on Tuesday, September the 8th. We're going to do our first open house, because I need to have this joker under contract by Saturday. What's all the marketing I need to do to make sure that this open house is a huge success? Because come Saturday, I need them offers coming on in here. We know that we're going to do a home inspection. We're going to push that we want them to do it in 7 days, because we ain't got no time to be mucking around with y'all trying to do whatever you're trying to do, right? I got every date in the calendar for that homeowner, because we need to close by when? December the 15th. And you set up an individual calendar for every last one of your clients. It also lets you calculate if you're going to have a nice Christmas or not, because you know what deals are due to close. I'm telling the truth, because if you ain't closing no deals, this is not going to be a nice Christmas. You might have some turkey, but it might not have cranberries to go up with it, right?
If you're a referral broker, you should do that as well.
If I'm a referring broker, yeah, because one thing to do is you want to make sure, one thing is referral brokers, we assume that people have one transaction. That's a bad mistake.
That's true, I know it's going to
And we don't end up with all the money. And they might want to refer people back to us based on the customer service we provide throughout their experience. So as a referral agent, I would want to say you want to service and follow up with the people that you're referring. Hey, heard you going under, hey, you under contract yet? I'm going to call the listing agent and see if they could send me the link and get written permission to market said property, because I know that you need to be gone by December the 15th. That's how I'll probably bring that in. So you see the calendar here. Miss Tech is a friend of mine. So I have all these different calendars in one location, and it doesn't cost me any additional money. So you want to set up an individual calendar for every last one of your clients. When it comes to getting that big bang for the buck, I'm a Hootsuite partner and ambassador. It's a social media management platform. When I was first introduced to Hootsuite, it took me about 48 hours to get my mind wrapped around that I had been manually doing everything, and that I could essentially syndicate my messaging to every last one of my social networking channels in real time, at the best time they felt it should be posted, or I could pre-schedule it for some time in the future. There are some other tools like Buffer. Edgar is another one, but I can tell you for $9.99 a month, Hootsuite is probably the most cost-effective one to use on the market. So you're looking at a couple of things here. I went to a website, which is right here. So we're at the Illinois Association of Realtors website. As you can see here, they have blog posts and all this great content. We're going to click on this call of action. IAR urges no vote on advertising taxes. We don't want to see an advertising tax, right? Okay. So we're going to go over here to this beautiful website, right? And what I want to do is share content based on this. It has some comments, websites, and links. Let's go up here to the top right-hand side. I think you might see this little owl icon. It's called a Hootlet. You can drop it into any browser that you use. I'm going to sign in to my Hootsuite account. So what you see here is the IAR Right article. And up here, this is my drop-down box. I get to share with all of the different social media channels that I use. I can write something about this article. I can auto-schedule it, and it will schedule it based on the best time per social networking channel. I can do post it later, and I select my own time, or I could do a schedule it now. So that's really how simple it is to use Hootsuite to schedule information. Think about maybe there was a wonderful article on you this past weekend in any publication. You want to share that information, just simply go to the URL and you can share it with all the different social networking channels. You want to share it, Hootsuite. You want to share it every single day for the next 5 days. All you do is just hit the Hootlet again, or you can set up a Excel formatted document. Let's see here. Nope. And you can do bulk upload. So I can schedule 300 messages to go out per social networking channel. And this is an example here. You put the date and time up here, and this is the format it has to be in. Here's the message, and here is the link. And the way I would do this, let's say that there were 31 days. I just come in here, 1, enter, backspace, 1, enter. So you see I'm just changing the dates. I could do that for the 30th, the 1st, the 1st, the 2nd, the 3rd, as long as I don't have more than 300 messages per social networking site. You got it? Who said okay?
No, you just
Oh.
lost me.
I just lost you. Okay, so Tracy, you're gonna have the golf outing, right? How long ago did you know you were gonna have the golf outing?
3 months, this year.
4 months ago, right. So what I would want to do is I might just have, but you have all these ongoing events, right?
Correct.
So let's say this is event 1, and this is just an example. Event 2. Event 3, because I know I want to talk about these a month in advance, right?
Yes.
On your Dearborn Realtors website, let's just do D website, right? This is going to be a link to wherever that is housed on your website, or it could be your Eventbrite link, okay? Or it could be the link to your constant contact email, right? Now I come back over here, and let's say I was starting this June the 1st. I would do 6/1/2015. I want it to go out at 8 a.m., right? Okay, so now I got 2, 3, 4, right? But I want to do them all on the 1st. So I just come back here, and I hit 1, enter, 1, enter, 1, enter. So I get all these different events on the 1st. I then load it to Hootsuite, right? But I want to do this 30 consecutive days in advance. So I already got my 3 events loaded to go out June the 1st. I'm now going to come back, and I'm going to just simply change this document, and I'm going to do 2. 2. 2. I save it. I reload it again to Hootsuite. So now the 3 events are set up to go out on the 2nd. And then I come back again and I decide I want to do it on the 3rd, right? So I hit this again, 3, 3, 3. I save it and I reload it again. So I have 3 messages that are going to go out so far on the 1st, the 2nd, and the 3rd. So this is called a bulk upload, where I don't have to keep hitting the Hootlit button again. I'm able to load all of my messages. So I know if I'm having a Christmas party in December, I can talk about the Christmas party 6 months in advance.
No, I got it.
That's
so
it?
I can do that in one day. I can just load all, and it's just gonna go out.
Oh, it's just going to go out because I'm setting it. So I save it. So let me take you to the next step, right? Do you want to save? Yes. We come back over here. We're going to just go to the Hootsuite dashboard. So we're going to look at it from a different way. So I come back here to Hootsuite. I'm going to come down here to bulk message upload. You see I can load this to all these different channels. I'm going to choose that file. I need to go find that Microsoft Word file on my computer, Microsoft Excel file.
Hey, Marky, does that work with Google Documents or just Excel?
You're going to have to change it to CSV format. You got to change it to CSV format in order to be able to find it.
And to upload it to Google, to upload it from Google.
I'm not saying you can't upload it from Google. I'm saying it has to be in a CSV format to be accepted into Hootsuite.
Okay.
So if you can do a CSV format, then you can load it. Okay? So I do bulk upload more than anything else because now I'm quick at changing that date that one little number, and then I'm just constantly reloading it. And I try to do 1 week at a time, so that's part of my social media strategies on Sundays.
And then you put that on Twitter, LinkedIn, Facebook, or wherever you want to post it.
So for me, I can send it to my LinkedIn business page, Google, Facebook business page, LinkedIn. What is this? This is another Facebook. Oh, this is Facebook. This is Facebook business, Twitter. So I have multiple accounts on some channels. This is a tool that's used by agencies. So anybody here who owns a brokerage or a company, you can also syndicate to the social media channels of your employees. You can control it all from this one place if you have their login and password information. I love Hootsuite. Did I tell you it was $9.99? Now you can try it out for free, but you only get to do it with 3 channels and 2 RSS feeds. So it's just a tool that will help you to syndicate your social media. You got it? And here's just another example here of me posting something. You see it's going to all these different social networking channels. So I can either use the Hootlet, which allows me to share anything from my browser, or I can do a bulk upload of messages I want to go out in advance for an open house, for a broker's open, for a caravan, for some of the community work in which we do. Anything, I would use this tool. We don't want to just sit there one at a time and then come back and open up the next browser. You don't have to do any of that. It's social media management platforms. I see you're looking. What questions you got? Now, I did tell you it took me 48 hours to wrap my, and let me say this, I didn't know none of this in 48 hours, so let's be clear. Just the concept that I could syndicate all this stuff to all these places that tool existed. 48 hours it took me. Because I'm like, no, it can't do that, is what I was thinking. No, it really does all of that. And then I learned as time went on about how to make my life simpler. So for me, it's about automation. You don't have, it's not enough time in a day for a licensed professional or business owner. Yes?
I would be really nervous being new at this, that I was sending out too much stuff or I did something wrong. Would you suggest like you just take little thin threads and try it?
Oh yeah, so the 2 messages per day, I would try the 2 messages per day to go to the different social networking channels. And because Hootsuite has what is called that, basically their own URL shortener, you might have seen that every URL became ow.ly. You can go back and look at the analytics of every link to see how people engaged with the content. Yeah. So for me, I've kind of had some time to gauge what is acceptable. I don't know if you noticed this, I don't post anything to automatically go to my Facebook personal page. Facebook personal page, they want personal information. It's just what it is. And so my human side, my children get on my nerves. My husband's a great cook. That is Facebook, but nowhere else. Facebook, they want a little personal because people do business with people. And I know some of us are very private individuals. I would ask you to find that one thing you don't mind sharing and share it. Whatever it is. I think I said that last. If you're a gardener, talk about gardening. Talk about cucumbers and tomatoes. Okay? I'm telling you, I know who can cook good on Facebook because that's all they talk about is cooking. I know who's a lush on Facebook because every post is of some cocktail or libation. So yeah, you know this, right? Yeah, so yeah, pick something. I would not go with, I like to go party and drink all the time, but pick something. There is a tool called an RSS feed. It stands for Real Simple Syndication. So I see some Coldwell Banker people here. I see some University of Chicago people here. I see my buddy back here, Brian from Redfin. Hey, from Entertainment. I'm gonna get it, Red Red Level Entertainment, get it? And I was mad at him a couple of weeks ago because I think how much you make? $1,600? Come on. $1,600. So somebody said, you making $1,600 from driving Uber? He said, no, I ain't drove no Uber, right? But he's a marketing genius. So figure that out. You can make money, talk to him with Uber, and you ain't never got to put your foot to the pedal. You tell him how to do it. Yeah, you see people already raising their hand. So he has never drove an Uber, but he making cha-ching, cha-ching, cha-ching. You didn't think I kept up with you like that, did you? I was thinking maybe I might have to come get a loan, but that comes to marketing, right? So you have RSS feed, stands for Real Simple Syndication. When you think about organizations that license you or are different associations and they're writing wonderful content because they have hired a marketing person, part of social media and technology is about the ability to curate great content. You don't have to develop the content. You just need to find the greatest resources in your industry and share their content. One, it makes it look like you're connected with great people. Two, they have the money and the resources to develop the content. And so I showed you the Hootlet that you can use in your web browser. I showed you the bulk upload. Another way to put it on autopilot, but you have to have 100% trust with the organization you put on autopilot, is that you can syndicate other people's information in real time. That means every time they post, it looks as if you've posted it in real time. For my real estate professionals, think about the National Association of Realtors, think about MRED, think about House Logic. For people at the University of Chicago, I want us to start thinking about the University of Chicago and all the different RSS feeds they have. I want to say they got about 25 of them. We talked today about Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac. They have an RSS feed. BMO Harris, if they write a blog, we can go do a RSS feed. And our buyers want lenders' information. And so we don't ever have to write relevant content. We can just share the content of others in real time, and you can do that through Hootsuite. Yes?
So with Hootsuite, if you share RSS feed from a particular organization, can you like put a pre-text in front of it so they'll know that this comes from a different organization and it's not yours?
Yes. Great question that he just asked. I'm going to go in here. Let's escape real quick. I'm going to go in here and I'm going to pull this RSS feed. So you see I'm simply copying the link, right? I'm going to now come back to my Hootsuite dashboard. I'm going to come down to settings. I'm going to go over here to RSS Atom. And I know this is a little fast. I'm going to do a RSS Atom. You see it's a little drop down. But I'm going to hit this plus button. I'm now going to paste that feed here. I'm going to say, hey, share it with, and you do one account at a time. I'm going to share it with Twitter. I want them to check it every hour because I don't want Hootsuite to decide to post 10 things at one time and they all flood. I want it to check every hour and make one post at a time, okay? So I do one post at a time every hour, and it says include text from the post and the message, yes, but I want to prepend. So I want to put Red Level Entertainment, or I could put from Hootsuite, but I get to come up with a 100-character message that will start my tweet off. It could be the keywords we talked about. So Hootsuite is all about social media education.
It's RSS fit. The keywords or your template will come up every time.
It'll come up, those same words every time I'm posting to Twitter from Hootsuite. Every time they write a blog, it will automatically post, and it will post my message before the post. So let's say I put social media info, right? With Right. This will come up and it'll always say social media info and it'll just have whatever their message is. So for Tracy, you might decide that you're going to share the National Association of Real Estate Brokers information directly to all the Chicago realtors, right? Then it might have Realtors News or something in front of it, and it'll come directly from the National Association of Real Estate Brokers or any of the people you have relationships with. And so if I was using BMO Harris, I might use BMO Finance Info or something of that nature. And every time it's posting that, it's starting with that initial message in front of it. I can come up with a 100-character message.
This would be a good personalizing.
I'm personalizing other people's content that I've already curated, and it's fed in real time.
So I got two ideas. One is hashtag.
It could be a hashtag.
Because that's used for indexing.
Yes, so if you wanted to, if I knew that people don't search social media info, but I know that they search social media tips. So I would come back here and I would do this. I'd pull it together. I'd put a pound sign in front of it, right? We would pull this back on there. Remember, you're going to capitalize the first letter of each word. So now it'll be social media tips.
Okay. Just going a little vain. Or wanting people to drive people to me.
Uh-huh.
I could also say something about Think Monique with my phone number. I thought this information would be useful.
You could put Think Monique hashtag, call, as long as we keep it under 100 characters, and put your telephone number there. Yes, you could.
Okay.
Yes, it's not being vain, it's branding your business. Y'all stop thinking you being vain, it's branding. You ever hear Target not let you know they Target? Come on. Yes, Brian.
So the 100 characters that you can pre-pen, does that take away from the 140 characters that Twitter allows you to post?
It's going to, yes. But let me tell you, there's a new workaround that you might want to think about. And that is, you want to know every time someone connects with you, because direct messages on Twitter no longer have character limits. Direct messages on Twitter no longer have 140 character limit. Lady sent me a photo and a whole long message the other day. I'm like, whoa, yeah, this really works. So you want to start thinking about not necessarily communicating with them in public, but communicating with them via direct messaging because you don't have any limits. Or you could, those autoresponders now, think about setting that up because they shouldn't have the 140 character limit either. So you can't set up autoresponders every time someone follows you on Twitter. Yes?
To add to what he asked, if your time does exceed the message, what gets cut off?
It's going to get cut down to 140 characters.
The message?
Yes.
So it might not make sense.
It might just have the word. So you want to use, I guess, some type of restraint. What you might get is just your message and the URL if you put too much. Twitter is supposed to be 140 characters. So I want you to keep that in mind. Yes?
Just do a link to wherever it is you want to print this message.
So think about every time, you see it says right here, URL shortened for links. Every time a message comes through Twitter or through Hootsuite, it's going to shorten that URL.
Well, that's what I mean. So if I click on this link, would my prepin be in this message? So I won't take away from what I really want to put?
I'm not.
You know what I mean? So if I have right here just a little link and it's prepin, they could click that link to go to read what my prepin says. And I'm just saying.
Oh, the link is going to always take you back to the original messaging. So the link always takes you back to the original message because remember, we're curating other people's content to make it look like we're in the know. So it's only, but let me say this, on occasion, you will see in Twitter 2 links. I can tell you people are going to be very confused. So you really only want it to be 1 link when possible because 2 links is like, well, which one of these links do I click on? I can tell you now I'm confused because I don't never know if it's the first link or the second link. So I click on both. And then I can tell you tomorrow I'm not going to know if it's the first link or the second link.
I guess I'm just trying to get a good way of going around plagiarism because if you're using
It's not plagiarism because you're always linking back to the original source.
They get the credit.
They get the credit. That's not plagiarism. Plagiarism is copying and pasting. You're sharing their content with others, and they've set the content up to be shared.
So now, what is the purpose of the hashtag being in front of it?
The hash, not necessarily, it doesn't have to be in the front.
If you were to do that,
Oh, because you can only prepend a message, so it has to be pre-message. Here, you can put a hashtag anywhere throughout any other message, but if you want it included in these posts, it has to prepend the message. So only in this tool does it have to come before. Other than that, I could put it anywhere.
or you could not do that.
Or you could not do it at all.
Still do.
It is just
Still pull it.
it'll still pull it, but it won't have the Think Monique branding on it.
Right, right.
Yes.
You won't have your branding.
It won't have your branding on it at all.
Okay.
You got it? Y'all getting these questions. I guess y'all say we not gonna see her no more. We know calling her don't work. Let me get these questions out. Y'all better get them out. Y'all know I don't talk on that telephone. And so this is what the combination Hootsuite and RSS feed looks like. It makes you look like you are a really big organization when you could be a one-man shop. But I don't want you to be confused. Century 21 is a Hootsuite enterprise user, and they just rolled this out to every last one of their licensees internationally. So if you got the Century 21 using it, down to the one-man operation, we all using the same tool, and it's cost effective. When not writing this class, I wrote the listing presentation from any device. I realized that the playing field has been leveled because we all have access to the tools. The question is if we use them or not.
My add-on to what you were saying is, because we will have different friends, like we will all have the same realtor friends, but we'll have different personal friends.
Yes.
So my information will go to my personal friends, and it'll look like Monique is really on board. with what she's
Exactly.
doing.
Exactly.
So I'm not worried about everybody else in Coldwell Banker or Century 21 having the same access information.
No.
But one thing most people aren't going to take advantage of.
You know how many people, most people aren't using the tools,
Right.
period, or using them consistently.
Correct.
You know, I'm already clear that only 20% might attempt to use. Yep, I just talked. Yeah, 80% of y'all might not use none of the stuff we talked about. Well, first of all, y'all showed up for 4 weeks, so y'all likely to use the stuff, okay? 4 weeks, you're going to use some stuff. Now, another tool that I use to syndicate information. How many pictures you got on your mobile device? A lot. I just deleted some. I have probably about 1,600 photos on my mobile device. For those my realtors, how many photos of a listing can you post on the internet? 25 photos, okay? What I want you to think about is how am I going to leverage every last photo on my mobile device in order to generate traffic back to me. Now, I know most people think Instagram is for the young. Instagram is for the young. I don't want you to be confused. But what I want to show you is the workaround and the benefit to your business. So here is a post that I had some time ago. A couple of things can happen in any Instagram photo. The first thing is I get to tag 20 other businesses. So you'll see right here, I added 2 people. I can add 20 people. My goal year before last, that's when I was still thinking about selling me some real estate. I wanted to get all over here. I wanted to dominate the Hyde Park area. Well, I've developed some wonderful relationships in Hyde Park, and I've gotten into a lot of departments here, but not for real estate. But I will tell you that when I'm online and I'm making posts about Hyde Park, I'm tagging the University of Chicago. I'm tagging Civic Engagement. I'm tagging the Hyde Park Herald. So they can't say they don't see me because I'm tagging them, okay? When you're doing events in certain locations, you want to tag the businesses in that area. One, you get to eat a lot for free, okay? So I checked in at Chant Restaurant across the street one day. The Lighthouse Grill saw that check-in. They said, hey, Marky, the next time you're in Hyde Park, stop by the Lighthouse Grill and get 10% off your meal. The next time I was in Hyde Park, I stopped by the Lighthouse Grill. I'm talking to the owner. Guess what he tells me? Marky, we need to expand to Lincoln Park. Oh, you need some real estate? let me refer you to somebody, because I checked in at Chant, not at the Lighthouse Grill. But now I'm connected online to the Lighthouse Grill because I retweeted their tweet. I'm connected at Chant. I'm connected at Ja Grill. I'm connected with Native Foods. And I can tell you sometimes that gets you additional perks. I also check before I check in to see what online coupons and benefits they have. Like the free string rings, I think at TGI, and the onion rings or the onion blossom at the other place. Yes. I'm checking into the location.
Foursquare or Yelp?
With Foursquare and Yelp. I check them both out to see if there are any benefits to checking in. I got so many dollar tote bags from Whole Foods, because if you check in to Whole Foods, they give you a dollar tote bag for free on Yelp. I got a whole bag of dollar tote bags, because I'm going to get my dollar tote bag every time I check in. You can also do location-based check-in. Why would you want to do that?
What was your question, Martin?
You can also do location, GEO tag and check-in. How does that benefit you in your business?
It shows you get around, that's for sure.
Says that I'm in the area.
What area you want to be in? You ain't got to tell the world. Anybody here want to be in the South Loop?
Yeah, everybody want to be in South.
Everybody want to be in the South Loop, right? So that means that when I'm going to Bottles and Bottega or to Jules or to anything in those neighborhoods, I need to check in. And I'm going to make a comment so that y'all are real clear about this, because I've had a long dialogue about this. Got a call from a leader. They said, Marky, we want to know why African Americans can't dominate any other community other than black communities. I said, 2 reasons I see. The first one is we don't live in the community. So if you think you're getting ready to go to the Lincoln Park and the South Loop and you getting ready to dominate and you don't live there and you don't have a presence there, why are they going to use you? Come on, I just need you to be realistic with yourself. Why are they going to use you? They're not. You need to start checking in where you want to be so that you can start connecting with businesses and people. When they come online, they're like, oh, she a great agent. She live up here? No, you don't live there yet. But when you look at a Hassani Steele, when you look at a Kevin Rocio, when you look at top producing people of color in non-black communities, they live in the community and they let you know it. I'm just saying. I ain't gonna tell you the other reason. I'll tell you that afterwards. I can tell you, they're all in interracial relationships. So y'all don't be mad, but my next husband won't be black. Yeah, I just want to let y'all know, okay? So you got location-based check-in, and at the bottom, you see that these buttons are highlighted. I can instantly share that Instagram photo with 5 additional social networking sites. I can share it with Facebook, where we do have friends, Tumblr, Flickr, Twitter, Foursquare. Foursquare is another location-based app. So we talked about Instagram and location ability. 2 last things that we're going to talk about real quick. I teach a class called Your Mobile Real Estate Office. That mobile real estate office is built on a platform called Evernote. Who here has had the opportunity to utilize Evernote? Okay? I love Evernote, and I fell more in love with Evernote because what Evernote is a virtual file cabinet. So anybody here ever worked at a real estate office that didn't have a file cabinet? Okay, so you come into the office, you got a file cabinet. Inside that file cabinet, you have files. The beautiful thing about Evernote is you have a virtual file cabinet. So instead of us having to purge our documents and move them to boxes and store them in a storage room for 5 years, right? Because we got to keep these files for 5 years. I now have an online virtual storage or file cabinet that allows me to store content in every format. So I have MP3, I have videos, I have Word documents, PDF, JPEG. I can do what they call screen snatchers. Anything I see on the internet, I'm able to put into an online file. Who do you need files for in real estate? You need files for IDFPR, compliance. Who else you need files for? Every what? Every buyer. For every what? For every single seller. And so Evernote is going to give us all of our online files that are synced across all of our mobile devices in real time. So I have a desk here at the incubator program, and my neighbor is Kimberly Brown. Some of you might remember she was a top producing real estate broker back in the day. She's an attorney. She has virtual assistants in the Philippines. She communicates with them in real time and just refreshes her page on Evernote so that they can share documents. I said, oh, I didn't know I could do that. So what can I do inside of Evernote? One, this is my desktop version. This is my mobile. So everything that I'm doing from my desktop, I can also do from my mobile device. I see Pete's over there. Don't y'all get distracted, right? Evernote allows me to bring all emails, documents, notes, text messages, and voicemail into one transaction folder for every single client or every single property online. I don't have to worry about what you said to me via text messaging. I'm going to send that to my Evernote folder. There are 3 versions of Evernote. You can start with the free version. Evernote is one of the things that I do pay for. So I pay for Hootsuite and I pay for Evernote. But as you can see, Evernote cost me, it just went up to $49, but on their website they still have $45 a year. What I realized is that as a licensed managing broker, I could set my whole office up on Evernote. When you come to interview with me to potentially work for me, I can set up a folder for you. When we signed a contract or independent employment agreement, it can be in your folder. I can now put all of your training manuals and videos in that folder. When you come work for me and you start working with Buyer Jones folder is inside of Evernote. So I, as a managing broker, have access not only to your personal folder, but to all of your client folders. In one central location, it costs the company $45 or $49.99 per year. This is what Evernote looks like on my mobile device. I have one folder called Productivity, and I have all of my productivity apps in one location. So, you know, I only got 2 screens on my mobile device. I'm not doing all this all day, okay? Because I group all of my like apps together, and here is productivity. But I use Evernote with a tool called If This Then That. I have Easy Sign, I have Hootsuite in this one folder. I'm gonna show you how I work them all together. The very first thing is, I'm gonna pick on Tracy again. Tracy, how many people you meet last week when you were in Houston?
Over 100.
So last week, Tracy met over 100 people at the National Association of Real Estate Brokers conference. I met probably 50 people, okay? Before I made it to Marion, Illinois, by 10 p.m. the night after I left the conference there, I had every business card of those 50 people scanned, saved to contact, and if they were on LinkedIn, we had already connected before I went to bed. Takes me 20 seconds to scan a business card and connect with them 3 different ways. Not only can I connect with them on LinkedIn, I have their contact information saved to Gmail, and they're stored in Evernote. How do I do that? I go to my Evernote app, I click on the plus button, I come over here to camera, and in there it is called a business card scan. What does that look like? Who went to MRED Palooza? A couple of people. MRED Palooza, this gentleman attended, I scanned his business card. This little icon came up because it let me know that he was on LinkedIn, but we're not connected. It says, Marky, connect with him on LinkedIn. I hit that button. I then add him to my contacts. I scan another business card.
He took your class too.
He did take my class, and I got his business card afterwards. I told y'all I practice what I preach. And so This is me saving him to Google. And then in Evernote, what happens is you see so who is this right here? Sandra Edwards Martin, business card scanned right there, okay? These are all the people who I met that day, stored automatically into my system. I really love Evernote, if nothing else, but for the business card scanner. How will you use this weekend in your next open house? I need to connect with everybody come to the open house. How will you use it at the next convention or your next networking event? I'm not worried about I don't even want to take business cards anymore. I don't want to give you my business card. You're not going to do nothing with it. I want your business card because I know I'm going to do something with it. Now I got an email going out tonight to all the people I met last week following up because I know what everyone wants. Because I met them all at the same place. Evernote. This is from who? Miss Carrie Bay Little. She's sitting back, your favorite MRED instructor in the back. We were here. Carrie Bay and I started chatting via Evernote. Carrie said, I got some checklists for buyers and sellers. I said, send them over to me via Evernote. We're communicating inside of Evernote where I'm able to save her checklist. So every buyer and every seller needs a checklist on their transaction. What I like about Evernote is I'm able to annotate in Evernote. So it will save. I don't ever have to print another sheet of paper. I can fill in the blank for every last client inside of Evernote and then drop that into their folder. Okay? So we got templates. This is a listing checklist. This is a buyer's checklist. What I'm going to do with Carrie's permission, I'm going to put the link inside of your Evernote folder, and her checklist will now be shared to you. So when you decide to use Evernote, you already got 2 checklists in place. Does that work for you? I think that might work a little bit. Here's your buyer checklist already in place. I can also email any type of document to myself. So you have an email address at Evernote. Email your notes, snapshots, audio clips directly to your Evernote account. I don't know if you know this, but when you do anything on these mobile devices, in the top right-hand side, there are 3 little dots. If you hit that, it's going to say share. All of them allow you to send yourself a Gmail. So anything you see on that mobile device, you can save it to an Evernote folder. Anybody use DocuSign? DocuSign has a Evernote plugin. Import documents directly from Evernote, get signatures, and then automatically save those documents back to Evernote. 1, 2, all documentation pertaining to any transaction in its own individual folder. For those of you, I've been sending you the same link, customized every single week. I think it might say bit.ly, bit.ly, your social media game plan. Does it say Chicago, right? I keep adding to it. Why wouldn't I do a folder bit.ly, bit.ly? Not only does my client now have its own Gmail calendar, they also have their own customized URL that goes to their Evernote folder. How much more money did that cost me? 0. Tracy, you getting it, right? You got it. Cost you $0. Who looks like the marketing genius for no money when you go sit down with your buyers and your sellers? They like, what they gonna say? It's all about me. Because you're going to customize everything to them or to the property or to the community that they want to live in. I exposed you a little bit to my other favorite tool, If This Then That, right? IFTTT.com. It is considered recipes. I look at them as being hacks. They make systems work together, and so far, If This Then That is free. So you can start using Hootsuite for free. You can start using Evernote for free. You can start using If This Then That for free. Leverage free before you pay for any of these tools to make sure you're going to use them. So what can I do with If This Then That? I have 190. I'm sorry, that number changed. 218 different channels inside of If This Then That. What does that mean? It means that I can have Dropbox talk to Evernote, or I can have Gmail talk to Evernote, and it does things automatically, okay? I'm gonna break that down for you. If I save a starred Gmail in my Gmail account, it'll automatically send it over to Evernote. I can archive all of my Instagram photos in Evernote. I can archive my Foursquare check-ins in one Evernote note. It allows, I can save my Craigslist post to Evernote. Now, that doesn't mean that I make an extra step. It means that as soon as I hit the star, it automatically takes the action. As soon as I hit the star, it automatically takes the action. So it's automating those systems. But it does 218 channels, right? So what else can it do? Simply label Gmail, Evernote, and it'll send it there. There are 23,000 people doing this. Save my star Gmails to Evernote, 32,000 people are doing this. You all are self-employed, right? Add receipts, orders, and invoice to my Google Drive spreadsheet directly from my Gmail. 13,000 people are doing that. Save all Gmail attachments to Dropbox. 15,000 people. There are over 2 million If This Then That recipes every single day.
I have a question. Are you using FreshBooks to QuickBooks to do the invoices?
I don't use FreshBooks to QuickBooks. That's just another option within inside the system.
So how are you creating the invoices?
So I create invoices in another system. But this is just some examples they throw out. These are the favorite ones that they have there. I got some more for you. So think about this. Throughout the course of the day, realtors receive hundreds of emails that pertain to their clients. Imagine being able to save your client's email to an online folder for backup and compliance. If you use Gmail and If This Then That, you can have a backup plan and organized storage for all email communications with your clients and your customers. Does that sound like a plan? How much did it cost you? It's free. I told you about Instagram, and you can share with 5 different social networking sites, but I gotta tap the button. Let's say you decide your finger hurt, right? You don't wanna tap anymore. You can automate your Instagram photos. I can save my Instagram photos to Dropbox. I do that. I can post my Instagram photos to Tumblr. I can automatically upload my Instagram photos to Flickr. I can save my Instagram photos that I like to Evernote. I can automatically post my Instagrams as a Twitter photo, and 149,000 people do that one. And so these are just all of the Instagram, because Instagram is a channel that I automate tasks. So we got Hootsuite than that doing some automatic stuff. We got Instagram that can do some automatic stuff, but let's say I wanted to do more automatic stuff. I attach Instagram to If This Then That, and it does it automatically. Instagram to Twitter. This is one of my favorite IFTT recipes. Its ability to post an Instagram photo to Twitter as a native photo. Right now, if you post directly from Instagram to Twitter, you're just going to get a URL. I actually have a full photo that displays, so people don't have to click on a link to see the photo. They automatically see the photo. If This Then That does that automatically because I have it attached. We talked about YouTube, right? Got a couple of things going on with your YouTube videos. You can post them to Facebook, Pocket, Evernote, Tumblr, Twitter, or save all of your like videos in a spreadsheet. Since we had our class last week on videos, I realized you don't even have to develop any videos. You could curate other people's videos. So that same information you're curating on all these great entities in the communities you want to serve, go find who has the best videos and build your YouTube channel around great content from the neighborhood. I said you got to read. I read what? Every single day. So you got to put it on the calendar or you're not going to learn nothing new because you're not reading nothing new. Same thing with our Vimeo videos we talked about. last week, you can automate the same identical task. I am doing all of this inside of if this then that. Automatic automation with every tool that I'm using. Now, in if this then that, they have some do's, okay? Not a recipe. So you could do receipts to Evernote. I got 2 ways. I just showed you one way. This is another way. Every time I take a photo of a receipt, it automatically saves to Evernote. We're self-employed. We want to write off everything. Come April the 1st, because I'm last minute, I'm going to be trying to find $2 receipts, okay? Because I need it all to add up. What I would like is to have Paul Lopez come up here. And so, Paul, if you could come on up here and introduce the great team that found this to be relevant for the people in real estate.
First of all, it's my pleasure to work obviously with Marky, right? We've known each other, and this was an idea that we came up with. BMO really wants to, be your partner. The difference with BMO is we have the programs and the grants that other, banks may have. But what they don't have is the team of people, and what they don't have is they don't provide the value we do, right? BMO provides value for you, so you have the BMO Realtor page, which gives you a lot of tools that you can utilize. We have the BMO My Home app, which you can utilize. We have specialized grants that are used only through BMO and low and moderate census tracts. And each of you have these 2 flyers. And so the first one talks about the BMO Neighborhood Home Loan Program. So that's a loan program with 3 to 5% down with no private mortgage insurance. And it goes down to a 620 credit score. The other program is $3,000 and $1,000 grant. If your clients purchase in a low census tract, they get $3,000. In a moderate census tract, it's $1,000. The first program that I described can be used for purchase or refinance. We'll take both, right? We're okay with either loan. So what the challenge is, and this email will go out, you'll receive it tomorrow like you have every other Tuesday at 10 a.m. The challenge for this class is to come up with 35 loans in the pipeline before October 15th. Now, that should be easy. We had 71 registered. We had 48 attend today. So that's less than 1 deal per realtor. And so whether it's you or someone at your office, send that over. Give us the chance. What we don't want is we don't want the customer with the 400 credit score filed bankruptcy yesterday and hasn't worked in 3 years. We can't help them. But what we do want are your clients that can use grant help, right, in order to purchase a home. And that's what we do best. That's where we can layer grants and give them the funds that they need in order to close. So part of my team that I'm on is here. So first is our loan officer, Margarita Perez. And so Margarita is on a dedicated team of affordable lenders. That's all they do is affordable lending. So we have 14 affordable lenders in the Chicagoland area. So they know all the grant programs, they know all the bond programs, they work with IDA, they work with FHA, they know how to layer deals in order to get them done. Next is, you guys all know her, Millie Reyes-Williams. And Millie does, you got your biggest fan, Tracy, right there. So Millie does the same thing I do, and Loretta Miner is going to be here in a little while. So Millie, Loretta, and I work the city of Chicago together. So we're relationship managers. So we build the bridges between the realtors, community organizations, and getting in buyers and taking care of our neighborhoods. And then the last person is Becky Keeter. She's all of our bosses. So that's why I said your assignment is 35 loans. Google, that means you too. You were here. And And what we want to do is we want to build this and expand it, right? Marky's an excellent trainer. We got Carrie Day Little in the back for MRED, and she did an excellent job. I mean, I was ready to quit the bank and go sell real estate.
Yes.
So we have the people, but it's up to you guys, right? You guys have to make this go forward. You're the pioneers, so we need your support in that. So I don't, absolutely.
Okay.
Hey, you're the boss. You're saying.
And before you leave, BMO has 10 locations that they're doing open houses on Saturday. If you want to come sit one of these locations, we do need you to set up, but you need sign up. So we do need you to sign up for one of these locations so that you can meet people face to face who need your service.
And that's, I'm sorry, just real quick, that's a Friday or a Saturday, just like I described before, where we allow the realtor partners to come in, set up a trifold, put all your listings up there, and, you know, show your listings. Jasmine has done it with us before, so it's a really good way to increase your business and increase our business. Look.
I just want to thank everybody for coming. I don't know, oh, Marky, thank you very much. So I learned more about social media in the last 15 minutes than I knew before. So I'm sure the whole series was beneficial, actually. Although I wasn't able to make it to most of the sessions, a lot of the background that I found out about it is just phenomenal. At the end of the day, we want to help you grow your business, right? I mean, this is truly a partnership. I've been in banking for 23 years, and with BMO, actually my entire career there. I've seen so many ups and downs, and I'm sure a lot of you guys have too, being in the real estate business, whether it be for 3 years or even longer. I also really like, and I love quotes, the quote out there too, because what it tells me, and I'm sure it was probably stated a little bit better or different from Marky, but the reality is you gotta just keep trying, right? And so when we look at kind of our industry, when we focus on affordable lending, there's no one-size-fits-all means to clients, but what we want to really make sure is that clients know about whatever is out there. And so we really feel like at BMO, we've put together a real good foundation to help clients kind of get to that level. And I appreciate the team here. These guys are truly the experts. They know their business. So I encourage you to sign up to be at one of the branches, because at the end of the day, I mean, what better marketing? In a branch on a Saturday where clients are walking in, right? And if you've got homes in those neighborhoods, perfect place to really have conversations with clients or get referrals. So I really encourage you guys to. Our branches are more than open to the idea, because just like with realtors, also with our nonprofits, it's really all part of really kind of building that business. So thank you for setting everything up, Paul. And hopefully you guys learned a lot from this. And thank you very, very much for your expertise.